Hey, so Mama did a post a couple hours ago saying people should come join the OpenAI robotics division. I think this is interesting because with AI, it broadly follows this trend of frontier labs like DeepMind, Anthropic, OpenAI, Meta doing something, and then a couple months after, startups try to mimic it or apply it in some form. Then from there, tangential industries then integrate from the startups or from the frontier labs themselves to build products, and these products trickle down to the general audience. So whether it be good or bad, it trickles down. So with robots and physical AI seeing an increase in investment, eventually it's going to trickle down to general audiences in some form. I think this is interesting for a variety of reasons, but the main one is world models, because with robots comes a world model, right? You can imagine during COVID, there was a increased need for stuff like takeout boxes, medical equipment, plastic barriers. So as the groups making plastic saw their value go up. Right, so the same thing's gonna happen with world models. As to have a robot maneuver the world, it has to have a model of the world to maneuver. So I think it's going to be interesting because you're going to see more research, more money going to it. I do think it's interesting from an individual angle as well because I'm researching world models. I know world models like it's an overloaded term, but I'm researching it. And I think I want to continue doing that and propel myself by finding opportunities that propel me. Right, but if let's say 1,000 people, that's not true, but 1,000 people are currently researching world models, as you see this increase in interest in robotics is going to scale to like let's say 100,000, right? So that means the opportunities become that much more scarce. I do think in saying that though, the increased research in world models is largely going to be from the video angle. I think video, just by the nature of being more photorealistic and easier to currently scale, is going to see more people wanting to go that route, be it from the frontier labs or the researchers. So you're probably going to see more PhD defenses on their video, like improving video-based world models in some form. So maybe if video-based world models are not the only thing that really matter, I think explicit geometry, me being in explicit geometry rather, will be really helpful in that there's probably going to be less people pursuing that route immediately. I also do think from the angle of applications, it's gonna be really exciting because I've been talking about this for a while now, and that I know I'll do with the world model I'm building, researching, but I really don't know what everyone else will do. I think you can see the same thing with large language models. When they were first being developed, you could never imagine what they will be used for in 2026. Right. I think that's just the nature of numbers and scale. 1,000 people can have an idea of what something is, what something can be used for. But when you go to a billion, a couple billion, that's a completely different game. So it's gonna be really exciting to see what people use them for. I think in entertainment and manufacturing, there's gonna be so many use cases, and maybe a whole different domain or industry um, comes from it. Even like pricing, I know this is like I don't really want to get into this. 'Cause I feel like it's a separate video idea where I could do a whole analysis. But I do think with video games, you can see the price of video games steadily increasing. It's like what used to be a $60 game, it become a $70 game, and soon $100 games are going to become that much more common, right? But what happens when world models, I know it's a little term, then gives people the ability to then create their own games, right, and share those games? Does that mean that games, people who make games, publish games, distribute them, trick a position where the value of a game is no longer the same, right? So you're going to see shocks in those industries. But I am frightened, as I said earlier, because I think with more people going into this research, it then puts me in a position where I have to ask myself, am I in the best position to be carried by this wave, right? Or am I just on the shore watching? I think I've been doing this for a couple months now, where I've been looking to world models. I think as this shift happens, I have to make sure that I'm continually doing research, I'm continually making progress, I'm continually outputting such that I don't get left behind and become put myself in a position where I'm in the same boat with people who start pursuing world models in 2028, right? Um, but overall, it's exciting from the applications to the investment research. Hopefully, there's going to be more demand for research assistance in that field. Um, but it's exciting. Also, I know one thing I'm really excited for is Alexa. So like Alexa, like we've had this for years now, for a long time now. But I think with the investment in robotics and physical AI increase, you're going to then see much more personal devices, and that's largely going to lead to better Alexa. So maybe by 29, I can actually have a really smart device in my room that actually does help me with stuff, whether it be with arranging my clothes, whether it be with planning my day, or just interacting with my physical world more. I think that's even interesting in terms of my physical world. But overall, an exciting time to be in world models. Besides that, though, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.